It's Monday, June 21st. One of the hottest days we've had so far this year. It's, I think, gonna get to 94 today. So hoping it rains later. Figured I'd walk around though and give a garden update. The cicadas are on their way out, but they've definitely done some damage. Nipped off the top couple feet of a couple plants. But it's all good. The beds here doing pretty well. Chard has produced really well. Cilantro, tomatoes, lettuce, spinach. The middle one's got bell peppers, potatoes on the far end there. A bunch of radish that have gone to, they're flowering currently, but the little butterflies seem to like that. I need to get down this aisle and take out those lamb's quarters. Fennel out of control. This bed's feral fully. Blueberries are putting on tons of fruit right at the moment. We were out harvesting yesterday. That second one and third one, this one's a little farther behind. Some of these new blueberry bushes, this one's doing all right. Some of these others got hit pretty hard by the cicadas. Trying to water them to help them recover from all the cicada damage. Yeah, these two Hanson's bush cherries got hit hard. Aronia hit hard. I put in some sweet potatoes, jalapeno, some wild rocket, two different kinds of arugula-ish thing. Some eggplants in here, summer squash, cucumbers, and some more summer squash. Gummies produced really well, and Nanking cherries as well. Those three are Nanking. That one there is suffering a bit, and this Nanking also suffering. Juneberries had some fruit. Next year I think they're going to do well, but the cicadas kind of, anything that fruited like before the cicadas started laying eggs did well. So the gummies put on tons of fruit, and like while they were ripening sort of, the cicadas started laying eggs. Some other things that set fruit a bit later, the fruit kind of got aborted or whatever, you know, the fruit wasn't able to fully develop properly. This pawpaw is looking really good. Juneberry, jujube didn't sustain too much damage, and I'm hoping flowers on this guy now. Hoping we get fruit this year on, got two jujubes. Gumi, bee balm, yarrow over there, comfrey, amber, autumn olive. I'm not gonna like do too much close up, but you can kind of see underneath all these stems how it's just slitted up where the cicadas laid their eggs, and they're actively still laying eggs. That's a persimmon, Nanking bush cherry. These produce tons of fruit. You can see here's an example of a branch that didn't get to fully ripen its fruit. But yeah, these produce tons. Bush cherry that's not doing well. Nanking. Tons of blackberries in here. There's a raspberry in there too somewhere. Gummies, some daylily, bunch of wildflowers, some milkweed in there. Some more blueberries, newer blueberries. I'm trying to harvest these so they don't break off. All these branches are sort of structurally compromised with cicada slits underneath them. Blueberry, those two are struggling. Lots of black currants, although, you know, odd branches have died, but still way more black currant fruit than I could possibly use. These are josta berries, Blackberries. This is the raspberry. I need to help him. A grape coming up in there. Help him get a little more light. These red currants produced really well. I've been harvesting those. Gooseberries. Even on like a branch like this that seems fully dead, the gooseberries are still fairly tasty. A bunch of raspberries here that I've been snacking on. Black raspberries, rather. Some tomatoes. 8 tomatoes in this bed. Honeyberry. I thought there was maybe still a honeyberry fruit hanging on. Ambrotum olive. Some potatoes. This persimmon looks pretty good. This one not quite as good. The asparagus is getting swallowed up by morning glory. Another persimmon with a grape climbing up it. Some hollyhock. Scarlet bee balm. Surprised there are no bees on that. It's a pretty hot day though. This is some wild lettuce that I need to cut down, but I'll keep one stalk maybe. I just thought it was impressive how it's popping like maybe 9 feet now. Juneberry, the whole top half of this guy got walloped. Gooseberry, Hanson's bush cherry. Tons of wineberries growing in the shade in here. Jerusalem artichokes. Too many of those. Juneberry here. Honeyberry. Here's a honeyberry fruit hanging on. Let's see. Yeah, still good. And these are my new grapes. Definitely lost some branches. A couple branches on all the, each of the grapes. But that's all right. They're working their way up towards the wire. Wineberries in here. Goji berry. This fig is doing well. I need to cut back some of this comfrey to get a little more light in. But figs developing on this guy. And the 2 others down below. Some fleabane. Hopefully the native variety, I don't really know, but pretty flowers. Wineberry, honeyberry. This grape, yeah, I had to restart from the ground, but doing okay. This grape's the only one that's actually attaining any height, but that's cool. Goji berry here, a couple Asian pears, and I've been snipping off fruit. Like this branch had like 5 fruits on it. Just don't want them breaking off. You can see there again underneath all cut up. Asian pear. A bunch of Welsh onion doing well. Some American groundnut going up these strings. That one's all the way to the top. That one as well. Scarlet runner beans. And there were bean pods on this. I ate a couple yesterday, but it's flowering, and if I looked more closely, there probably is 1 bean pod on it. Malabar spinach in here, which I'd never grown before, but it's a nice tender like Swiss chardy thing. Pretty nice. 2 more scarlet runner beans, just a little behind the first one. Hardy kiwi, doing okay. Another hardy kiwi. Blackberries. And then a male hardy kiwi. All doing pretty well. Just this male was a little farther behind, but just now starting to climb. The apples got hit quite hard, and as with the Asian pears, I've been snipping off fruits. Anyway, so pruned back quite a bit. This one's got a decent amount of fruit. Cicadas are still flitting around. You can see her laying eggs right there. Another apple. Pears. The pears are the one thing I'm happy got pruned. Cherry. Had a couple cherries, but my neighbor has it. Well, anyway, this cherry tree never does all that well, or never produces much fruit. A couple Nanking cherries in here that I need to put some mulch down in this whole bed. It's like honeysuckle and grasses and stuff. Blackcurrant. Gumi, apple. It's like a nectarine or something. Currant. Nanking, black currant. What else? That's sort of the full tour. Wildflowers doing okay in the swales. We had more last year, I feel like. I didn't sprinkle as many seeds at the beginning of the year, so what's here is sort of naturalized, which was sort of the goal anyway. I don't want to be buying seed packets every year for wildflowers. So I put some more Malabar. I had a bunch of extra Malabar spinach starts that I put in this bed on the right side. Hopefully they'll get going up that fence. Tons of radish. Tons of radish, yeah. Pods are pretty nice. Not that nice. Potatoes, elderberry, some more black raspberry down here. And strawberries here, and strawberries kind of sprinkled all about, but they're doing pretty well. They're all different varieties, so the smaller ones I think are, it's not that they're, well, they maybe are less happy, but just a smaller variety. These are purple flowering raspberry, which I've seen the wild version of this in the woods here, and it does produce fruit, but this one strangely, I don't know, it's hard to like discern which flowers are farther along, but I haven't seen any actual fruit, so I feel like I got a variety that produces like a bone dry fruit as compared to the one I've seen that actually does produce a raspberry-ish fruit. Some more jay chokes that I need to, well, they're fine there for now. This is a pineapple guava, and one more of those. And this guy flowered a bunch. And I suspect these are the flowers now, you know, pollinated hopefully, and might turn into fruit, so that would be cool. A couple more blackberries down here among these currants. It's hot, but if it'll rain tonight and keep raining consistently, everything I think should bounce back fully from the cicadas. So just a bummer that some of the fruit set, you know, we lost, but not a huge deal. Anyway, that's it.